Hello and welcome back to the One Day Stronger podcast. My name is Colin and I want to thank you for being here with me today, taking some time out of your day to hopefully get some motivation, inspiration, or whatever you want to take from this podcast. If you're new here, I just want to give you a little quick recap of what this podcast is and what you can expect to hear. It's a real talk on personal growth, sobriety, parenting, and showing up for your life one day at a time. So, I want to ask you guys a question. If you haven't already read the title, it's going to be a simple question. What do you want? What do you want? You know, it's not... And when you're getting sober and you're working on personal growth, this becomes a fucking question that you ask and you realize you ask yourself too late in life, or you think you ask yourself too late in life and you're not following what you want to be. And half of the fucking pain and misery and bullshit that you put yourself through is because you know what you want, but you never really asked yourself, and you're off your path of what you want. So you're following a path that maybe your parents wanted. You thought that your parents told you to do, go into this profession, and you don't want it and you fucking hate it, and that's causing you pain and wanting love, and or like what your partner expects. Like maybe they don't get that you want a riskier type of profession or something like that in life. But this could be like with anything. But I'm going to talk about more of like a purpose, or like a job, purpose, career of what you want to do with your life. Or like another one is what sounds good on paper. You know, it may sound good on paper to other people, but to you, you're just like, not for me. But sometimes maybe you go ahead with it because other people are doing it, but that's not you. So it's what do you actually fucking want, you know? And if you don't know, then let's just start there, you know? Because if you're not clear on what you want, and then like how the fuck hell are you supposed to get it, you know? It could be the body you want, it could be the house you want, car you want, fucking job you want, mindset you want. You know, everyone has their own thing that they want. A lot of people just aren't willing to fucking do it because they're either not asking the question, not on the path, or they're following someone else's advice or life path and not their own. You know, most people, they just wander, like, and end up hoping that they end up happy, healthy, sober, successful, you know. But hope isn't a plan, you know. You need a vision, you need the fucking steps, you need the intention. So where do we start? Like, you gotta start, you gotta get honest, you gotta ask yourself the question. And guys, this is something that fucking I had to fucking realize after I got sober in a little bit, because like, yeah, I got sober, then I just felt like I was fucking just going through the motions, like, of life, you know. It wasn't really what I expected it to be, of like, oh yeah, sober, everything's fucking better now. It was just like, okay, now I gotta fucking figure out who I am and what the fuck I want. So that's what I'm working on right now, and life changes and pivots, and you gotta run with it. But one of the biggest things is always kind of revisiting the question and kind of re-evaluating your answers and stuff. Because what you want now may be different than what you want in a fucking year after you start growing and do personal growth. Things might change, things might not have different meanings for you. So you gotta ask yourself, what kind of person do you want to fucking be? What do I want my life to look like? Like, where do you want to live? Who do you want to be with? What type of things do you want to have? Like, what do I want to look back on 5 years from now? So now, like, what are you doing today to move in that direction? Like we always say, what are we doing for the small wins? What are we doing to help ourselves get to those ultimate goals? Because yes, those are our big goals, but we need to have our small little wins in littler goals that are going to help us compound into getting to our bigger goal. You know, people get fired up for like a day, a week, maybe like a fucking month, then they go hard and they expect results in 30 days. Because everyone wants a quick fix. But through this podcast and what I say all the time is like, when life doesn't change fucking instantly, what happens? We all want to give up because we're so in tune with and want that quick fix. And nowadays, because we all have information in our fucking pockets, that we're not willing to put in the work and the patience, you know? That's not how it works. If it took you 10 years to destroy your fucking habits and damage your body and numb your emotions, like, what do you think is going to happen in 3 weeks? You're not going to fucking fix it. Yes, you might start feeling better, but you're not going to fucking fix the whole problem of what's going on, or what you're not going to fix your whole life in 3 weeks. It takes patience, it takes time, and you're going to fall down, and you got to get back up and keep going, you know? You need a fucking plan, and you need some patience. You know, what do you want? Write it down. What needs to happen to get there? Break it into the little small steps like I was talking about before. How long will it take? Give yourself a reasonable and realistic fucking timeline on this, guys. It's not like, oh, I want $10,000 in 2 weeks. Some of you may be able to do that. Or like $1 million in fucking a month. Like, that's not gonna work. Not gonna work. Or I want to lose fucking 50 pounds in 2 months. Like, that's, you could probably can't do that, and if you did, you'd be fucking really unhealthy. So, like, what's your next move? Not someday. It's fucking today, you know? So, here's a couple things you guys can do today to start this. Journal tonight, this morning, on lunch, whenever you can get around to doing this, but do it today. And then, right, if I could be living the life I truly want 12 months from now, so in a year, what would it look like? You know, write that out, be specific, health, mindset, sobriety, family, career, all of it. Just write it all fucking down, what your perfect and exact life would look like, you know? And then after you've done that, reverse engineer that vision. Break it into quarterly goals, then monthly, and then your daily habits of what you need to do to achieve this goal. And then remember, you don't have to do it all today, but you have to do something today. So let's start now, and let's get it going. Because the truth is, you can't hit a target you don't set. So set it, map it, move towards it. You know, one decision, one action, one day at a time. And with that, guys, overcome and evolve one day at a time. I want to thank you for being here with me today. If you get any value out of this, please like, comment, and subscribe wherever you're listening to this on. I want to thank you and appreciate you guys for listening. Until next time, have a good one.